Hi, welcome back to our channel. Lord and Lady Muffintop reporting in for week 2 of our accountability slash get to know us slash everything else you want it to be vlog slash blog thingy-mabopper. And that actually brings up an interesting point as we get started this week. Not only are we doing weekly videos, we're also, when we can and when we feel appropriate, doing a blog, which we will link down below for you so you can check that out as well. More content there. Just sort of a good place for us to go to sort of give our thoughts in the moment, since we don't feel like we necessarily have enough time to do a video every time we have a light bulb go on over our head. And Candice has a light bulb going on over her head right now.
See, I do.
Right over
Ding.
there. Right over there. It's,
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. So anything that you want to add?
No, I don't think so. We've got a lot to cover in this video, I think.
Yes.
We're going to do an update of our successes and some of our shortcomings or possibly non-success.
Right.
I don't want to call it a failure because it's a journey.
Right.
And then we are going to do a little Q&A. So I guess you can call this a tag video, but not really. We just found some questions that we want to answer to help you get to know us a little bit better. So,
right on.
Why don't you get started with your week and how everything went?
Okay, so it was an interesting week. I didn't say last week, but so I have 2 goals. I did say that last week.
Yes.
So 2 goals: to lose 150 pounds, and then to get myself up to that 12 to 15,000 step average range. So those are my 2 goals. What I didn't say last week was that I've been dealing with a little bit of an injury. So I have a little bone spur that I've been dealing with, which is sort of hard to overcome since you can't not walk. So I've been making sure that I get as many steps in as possible, and we'll start there. I actually will put pictures, hopefully we'll edit in the pictures as we sort of talk through this, whether you still see our smiling faces or not when we do those pictures, we don't know. We're still getting better at this editing thing, but I increased my step count by like 900 steps on average. So my step monitor shows a daily goal. So on Monday, when I actually took a screenshot of it, it was like 6,700, something like that, steps, and the most recent one is close to 7,690, something like that. So I increased my daily step count by enough to get my daily goal to be, and I think that's an average number of steps according to my step calculator, to plus a little bit to get me to work towards a goal. So close to 1,000 steps added this week. So that's fantastic, even seeing as how I only got like 2,000 steps yesterday. So I had a big day of walking on Friday, just had a couple walking meetings. I got close to 13,000 steps on Friday.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was definitely a good thing. The scale was friendly to me this week as well. I went from 347.4, I think. Again, we'll put pictures into the scale, so it'll hold me honest to this, down to 345.4. There's nothing wrong with a little twinger hair every now and then. So 345.4. So I lost 2 pounds this week. That's not bad, especially since Saturday night I went out to dinner for my birthday, which is this coming Friday, which I'll talk about here in just a second. And my mother-in-law, her mom, took us out for birthday dinners, and I decided I needed to eat an entire cow for dinner. It sure tasted good, but definitely...
It was served on a log.
It was served on a log, which was really kind of cool. I think I probably would have been down closer to 3 pounds if I didn't overeat on Saturday, because I also had a really bad breakfast. We went through Dunkin' Donuts, and I got made a smart choice with a couple wake-up wraps, which is what total of 360 calories, but there were a couple donuts that jumped into the car through the window as well. I don't know what happened there, but they jumped in the car, and I felt like they needed to be eaten. So I think if yesterday hadn't been such a rough food day, I probably would have been down close to 3 pounds instead of just the 2, but we'll take 2. That's a celebration. That's a victory. So yeah. So this week, goal again is going to be make positive steps in the right direction, get my step count up. I don't know that I'll be able to increase it by 1,000 steps again, but we'll see. We'll just jump in and see what we can do towards getting that step goal to go up. Change habits just a little bit at a time. And this is going to be an interesting week food-wise as well. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off from work. When I don't have the structure of taking my lunch and that kind of thing, I tend to struggle with my food choices a little bit. But not to mention, we're having a big family get-together for my birthday on Saturday, which is going to include a 8.5 pound prime rib that's being smoked, and potato salad, and my favorite carrot cake, and all that goes along with that. So it's going to be an interesting week to see how we can stay on plan. I'll probably blog a little bit about what my plan actually is so we don't take more time in the video so we can get to the fun stuff. So that's me, my goals for this week, how I did, and my plan for next week. Candice.
All right. Well, my goal is also to lose 150 pounds by the time we go to Disney World next September. In the scale department, it was a very good week. I'm down about 3.4 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. I don't intend that to continue because we all know that women lose weight differently than men. Yeah. And a lot of that was probably water weight, but I have found myself making smarter choices with my food, and it's sort of an unconscious thing. I mean, part of it is very conscious at this point. Yesterday when we went through Dunkin', I went for a turkey sausage flatbread rather than my usual sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, which is 1,000 calories by itself. And then I also had a hazelnut iced latte, which is one of my favorite things, but I opted for non-fat milk rather than the full-fat, delicious, creamy thing of the past. So, little changes are what's going to make the big difference. I think a lot of people go into a weight loss journey thinking, okay, I'm only going to eat salad and I'm only going to do this and I'm only going to do that, not this, not that. But they stumble and then it just kind of destroys the whole process. So they end back at square one. As far as activity for me this week, it was a little bit challenging. Okay, I didn't do anything. So it was a lot challenging. I didn't hit my activity goal this week. There was other parts of life that were very stressful this week. So not that that's an excuse. It's just a reason why I didn't do what I set out to do. Come home from work and am absolutely exhausted. So, and then I have other things on top of that just, it didn't happen. But so the goal for this week is to continue to eat mindfully and see the scale go down more, hopefully. And then get that activity in because I know that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It's not, in a journey like this, it's not so much about failures and successes as it is taking steps towards more positive health. That's one thing that I remember from my first goal is I didn't give up anything that I didn't want to give up. I gave up a couple of different things, but for the most part, I continued to eat the things that I wanted. It was just about being mindful. It's calories in versus calories out. And then realizing that if you're hungry, you can replace things with high calorie, high fat with lower calorie, low fat and get more food in and that kind of thing. So if you're getting hungry, there's little tweaks that you can make just to make it a little bit easier. And that's really what it is. It's about the journey for me. And I think for you as well. I've in the past tried to lose weight to your point of you hit that brick wall and you're like, oh, I had a horrible day. I'm going to start on Monday and it's just Tuesday. So you say, I'm going to give up and for this week. And then you just make terrible decisions throughout the rest of the week saying next Monday is going to be my day. No, next meal, tomorrow is really the right time to sort of make that better decision. And not even a better decision, make a different decision. In that moment, I'm a firm believer in sort of treating yourself positively. That wasn't necessarily a bad decision. It was the decision you made. It is what it is. You move on from it. You either learn from it or you don't. And maybe you'll make a different decision next time, but that doesn't mean it was a wrong decision in that moment.
And with all other decisions, as we go through life, there are consequences, positive and negative. And we have to deal with it. We can't just sweep it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen because in this instance, when it's always Monday, I'm going to start again Monday. Unfortunately, that Monday never ever comes. All the rest of them do. Ugh. But that particular Monday never comes. So like Scott said, just start with your next meal. Start with the next time you are thirsty. Grab water instead of soda or grab water instead of a juice or something like that. And if you feel like you're getting hungry, try something with a lot of protein or a lot of fiber to help keep you full. The protein's going to keep you going. And remember that carbs are very important for brain function. They help your synapses fire, actually. Sorry to get technical and all that on you, but it's true. And I know people that have gone on very restricted carb diets that they kind of walk around in a fog, and it's because they're not getting enough to have their brain function properly. So moderation in all things. And that goes for healthy food, not healthy food. If you want birthday cake, you have birthday cake, but not the whole cake.
Damn it.
I know. So are we done preaching?
I think we're done preaching.
Awesome.
Sunday health church time. We're done. That's okay. So we have, like Candice said at the beginning, we have some questions. We're going to post answers to all of these questions on the actual blog, but we're not going to put them all on the video. So we're just going to run through a couple of the different questions on here and sort of help you get to know us a little bit better. So I'll start asking the questions. Would you rather go to a play or a musical?
I will preface this by saying that most of these questions are going to come with a well but. In that situation, it would very much depend on the play versus the musical and what we were actually seeing. Because there are some musicals, and you know this, that I cannot stand. And so, no. I would rather go to a play if that was my choice between some of those musicals or a play. However, being a music nut like I am, a majority of the time I would see a musical.
Oh, Glaucoma, where the wind comes. Yeah, that's one of those shows.
Yeah. And thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Now that's stuck in your head. I would choose a musical every single time. I don't even care what it is. Plays kind of drag me down a little bit. I find them to be a little bit boring. But musicals, I don't care what the show is. I'm a musical theater nut and have been since I was little. I just love musical theater. I love all that goes into it. I love the idea of being in the middle of a serious conversation and breaking into song. You've
done that before.
I have. It happens. I just did it a couple seconds ago. Life is a musical, especially when you figure we take music with us everywhere. We put earbuds in. We sing along in the car. We sing in the shower. All of those kind of things. We do it. Our life is a musical, and I sort of love going to musical theater every single time.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay, so we'll let you pick one.
Okay. This is a good one. For the travel nut in all of us. Would you rather visit Europe or Mexico?
I would rather visit Europe because I've been to Mexico. I've seen parts of Mexico, not a lot of Mexico, but I've never been to Europe, and I love doing things that I haven't done before. So seeing the castles of Germany and Bavaria and going to England and having a pint of real Guinness and having bangers and mash and all that goes with all Europe. It would take probably 3 years for me to see everything that I want to see in Europe. But that's where I would start because I feel like I know the culture of Mexico pretty well. I love the Caribbean. I love the ocean. So I feel like that is what Mexico offers. I would love to tour Europe.
I agree, 100%. There's so much history. And, I mean, the castles, like you said, I'm kind of a castle nut. I know that's amazing and a huge revelation right? Today, but...
you want to live in one.
I do.
Yes.
I do. But I think just all of the history and being musicians like we are, I think seeing the birthplace of greats like Mozart would be just absolutely mind-blowing. It would be an amazing experience.
Yes. Agreed.
Yes.
Okay, so next question. Would you rather go to a comedy club or a dance club?
I think probably a dance club.
Okay, tell me why.
Because there is a certain amount, I love music, number one, and I love to dance. So that would be the huge difference. Sometimes when you get a comedy club, depending on the comic, they can be a little off-toned for me, and things get a little crass really quickly. And also, depending on where you're seated, if it's a close, sort of intimate setting that you're in, they tend to pay a lot of attention to the people with the loudest laugh. And yes, oh. I know. I know. We're full of revelations today.
Right.
But that's not always a welcome thing for me. So that's my answer.
Yes, I would always choose a comedy club again. The only dance I know is the white man overbite.
Thank you for the demonstration.
Yeah, see, I'm all about helping people understand who I am. That's
Absolutely.
the only dance move I really know. That and like the sprinkler and the lawnmower, which don't
the shopping cart.
Yes, that don't go over very well in the dance club. But I love to laugh. I love to laugh in a group. You start laughing and somebody else next to you starts laughing, even if the comic isn't that funny. You get a group of people laughing. Even the worst comic gets funny when everybody is laughing and everybody is in that moment, sharing in that joy. I think that's just fantastic. Okay.
All right. Okay, would you rather swim in a pool or the ocean, saltwater and waves crashing on the beach, or temperature controlled and lovely water all year round?
I would choose the ocean. I just love the feeling. I'm going to steal something from you, so hopefully you weren't going to use it. I love the first time you step into the ocean after it's been a while, and you sort of walk in down that gradual incline down the beach, and you feel every paper cut you've ever had on your person,
or ever will have,
just because of the saltiness, the saline in the water. And just how warm and those waves crashing up. One of my favorite memories of some of our vacations is we went to a beach in St. Thomas. What was the name of that beach?
Trunk Bay.
Trunk Bay. Fantastic beach. They're not sponsoring this video.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
We'll plop in a picture too.
It's one of my favorite beaches in the whole wide world. And we just sat on the edge and the water picked us up and pulled us back and picked us up and pulled us back. We were on a Disney cruise and we went back to the room after that, and the next day we saw our room steward who had to ask if we were building castles in our room because so much sand got picked up into our shoes and into our swimming trunks. But just that feeling of how massive it is, how big it is, and what all is there in the ocean is just, I love it. I would choose to swim in warm ocean every single time.
Yep, there's your qualifier right there.
Yes.
Cold ocean sucks. But I too am an ocean girl. I actually feel myself physically missing the water when I don't have it around me, which is really tough considering where we live.
Nebraska for the win. Yeah,
completely landlocked. Which, interesting fact, we are very, very humid here during the summer, and we learned this year. I always found it very amazing that we were as humid as we are because we are completely landlocked. There's no huge lakes or anything like that around us. And a fact came out that it's actually from the corn. The water evaporates up off the corn and it creates all the humidity. So I'm actually not calling it humidity anymore as much as corn sweat.
I love it.
But yes, the ocean is just amazing, and it does something to me when I'm by it, and I think you would agree with that. It just completely revitalizes me and relaxes me, and just, I don't know. It's something about the power of this huge body of water and what's in it, and like when we go snorkeling and stuff, I'm just blown away every single time by the amount of life and actually what's going on below the surface. And I know people get freaked out by the fish and stuff, but it's fine.
From the movie Moana, when she's yelling at it, fish poop in you all the time. I love that. It's kind of gross, but it's true. And I still go swimming in the ocean.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal.
Yep.
Okay, so let's do one more question. The video is kind of getting a little long, so we'll do one more question here. And then we will do one of these that's a little bit more in detail. And then, again, go to our blog. We'll answer all of these questions. There's like 45 questions. We'll answer all of them in our blog over the course of the next couple days. I don't know that we'll post it today, but it'll be up soon.
It'll be soon.
So this is an interesting one. What is your biggest success up until now?
And I suppose you want me to start.
Yep, I asked the question.
Okay. I don't know.
Besides marrying me, of course.
Of course. Well, that's a given. Duh. I think I would have to say, my business.
Oh, yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. We came back probably about, I think it was 4 years ago, from a Disney vacation, and I was having a conversation with a friend, and we had such a good time, and it was a trip that I had worked so hard to plan every detail and every in and out and around and mapped everything out and got everything done. And I made the comment to a friend, because you can't go there without a plan. You just can't. That an ideal job for me would be actually planning Disney trips for other people. And she actually did some research, and she sent me a couple links, and you can actually do that, and you can earn money for it. So I found a host agency, and started down that path of becoming a Disney destinations travel specialist. That host agency relationship and I did not last all that long, because I met another host that was offering a little bit more opportunity for me. And that's been 4 years ago. And we are still going strong. We're growing every year. And there's some really good, interesting things in the work. And this is not a plug to have you contact me for vacation or anything. But
if you want to, we'll link her business page down in the comments as well.
Absolutely. Okay. But it's just something that I don't ever think that I really saw myself doing. But once I got started, it's amazing. I love it. And it's one of those things where I could probably eat, sleep, and breathe it and be fine with that.
Yeah, and I'm super proud of the work that she's done to get that up and running. In the past, she's been one of these that's tried to sell candles, tried to sell wax, tried to sell
everything,
little different things. And finally it clicked for her that sort of a business that she's passionate about is something that she can get behind. And even though it's a sales related position, she really does a good job of sort of helping folks out. Again, we're not plugging her business on this vlog. This is an accountability. This is just a fun for us to do to help ourselves hold accountable, but that's who she is. And I don't think we have any problems linking her business page down below. So if you want to just check her out there, you can. So yeah, as my proudest accomplishment to date, besides marrying you, obviously,
well, duh.
Is the first time I lost 175 pounds. So my highest weight was close to 380, something like that. And I got myself down to 225 at my lowest before I sort of reverted back. But looking back, I remember thinking to myself while that was happening, this isn't all that hard. It's not a hard thing to do. Now that I crept back up and having to do it again, it is hard. I look back on that and the strides that I made and the way I was able to, on a weekly basis, have wins and gains and just do things. That was a 12 to 18 month journey. That 175 pounds down was just amazing. I look at that and I lost a large person. We go to a church and there's some kids. I lost like 4 children in the course of that journey. And so that's something I'm really proud of. And I want to find that success again. And that's why we wanted to do this, is looking for a different way for accountability. As we get older, losing weight gets harder. And so we want to find ways that we can sort of hold ourselves to that accountability a little bit differently. And we're hoping this helps. So that's my answer, that 175 pounds down.
Awesome.
Excellent. Okay, I think that's it. Again, if you liked the answers to these questions, check out our blog, which will be linked below. Also, press the like button, press the subscribe button, leave us comments, let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. We're brand new to this, so we want to make it something that not only is it an accountability thing for us to make us log in and post something every week, but we want to make it fun to watch. We want to make it interesting.
And we want to get to know you and hear about your struggles and your successes as well. I mean, like we said last week, we're all in this together, so why not support each other wherever we can? Exactly.
So we will see you next Sunday. Check us out. Hope you enjoy this video, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.